Thank you so much for signing up to volunteer for April Brews Day. We are super excited to have you guys help out. My name is Sadie and I am the volunteer coordinator for Brews Day.
I'm Kate. I'm the executive director of Max Higbee Center and an event planner for April Brews Day.
And I'm Carrie, the event coordinator for April Brews Day.
If you're wondering why we are wearing these awesome costumes, it's because this is what we will be wearing day of the event, so we can hopefully be, semi-visible. If you are needing one of the three of us, just look for the bright wigs.
April Brews Day is in its 17th year as a microbrewery festival. This year we'll invite 70 breweries with over 140 different types of craft beer and ciders. 350 people make this thing happen. We have 1 hour to set up this entire event. So all hands on deck for 1 hour is what makes this thing happen.
And the Max Higbee Center would not exist without April Brews Day. April Brews Day brings in more than 50% of Max Higbee Center's annual revenue so that we can provide community-based recreation programs for teens and adults with developmental disabilities. And all of our programs are about promoting growth, providing opportunities for personal enjoyment and enrichment, and having access to the community so that everybody has the chance to build friendships and do fun things with their friends that they love to do. And right now I'm going to say a code phrase that you will be asked on your volunteer questionnaire, and that code phrase is inclusion matters, because it does matter.
There are some things that you should definitely think about bringing with you, and some things that you should definitely think about not bringing with you. Please bring your ID. We will ID every single person that comes into Brews Day. Please also wear comfortable shoes and weather-appropriate clothes. Anything can happen. 2 years ago, we had beautiful sunshine and no one needed a jacket. Last year, it rained the whole time. So anything could happen. Please just be prepared for any type of weather you can see in April. And think about wearing gloves, because if it is cold, it will be very cold. If you are a pourer, please have your mass certification with you that day. What not to bring, anything else. We don't have any storage for volunteer stuff. Plan on not having any spot to put anything.
And while you're volunteering, if you need to use the bathroom, when you need to use the bathroom, you can go to the bathroom that's in the brewers only area. You don't have to get in any long lines and wait for the porta potties. We'll have a separate bathroom for volunteers in the brewers only area.
Unfortunately, we cannot accommodate job or shift switches unless you are unable to perform the duties required. If that is the case, please send me an email, give me a phone call, and I'd be happy to find something that works for you.
So the first volunteer expectation, first and foremost, please don't get really drunk so that you cannot complete your volunteer position. We want you to enjoy the event and taste some of the craft beers and ciders that are there, but do so in moderation and make sure that you're able to fulfill all responsibilities of your position.
If you're not able to fulfill those responsibilities, we will ask you to leave and you won't be able to stay within the event.
As a volunteer, we want you to be empowered as an authority figure within the event. There's a couple of things we mean by that. We want you to be ready to be alert for potential issues. We want you to ask for help, and we want you to be outspoken. A couple of potential issues that we always plan for and expect at April Brews Day is excessive drinking. It's a beer event and people are excited, and so people are drinking, and they're drinking a lot. And so as a volunteer, please keep your eye out for people sneaking into the event, people drinking too much, people being unsafe, and emergencies. Any type of emergency that you would consider an emergency outside of the event is considered an emergency in the event. Ask for help if it's something smaller than an emergency. We want you to bring problems to us so that we can help you solve whatever issues that you're facing. We want you to be outspoken. If you see something happening that shouldn't be happening, we want you to feel empowered to say something to that person. If you don't feel comfortable asking someone to leave or telling someone that they're drinking too much, then again, turn to a leader to help you address that person. You'll have a volunteer captain, and you can always visit that person at volunteer headquarters for support if you can't find one of us. Volunteer headquarters will be inside the building of Depot Market Square, so you can always go there. And you'll also see some law enforcement folks within the event. First aid kits will be found at volunteer headquarters as well. So if you have an injury or you know someone who has an injury, please turn to volunteer headquarters inside the building.
As a volunteer, something that is super important to keep in mind is that scrip equals money for Max Higbee Center. One of these tickets is worth $1 at least for the center. They will not be this color, so don't expect that. If you see brewers or brewers assistants pouring beer and not accepting script tickets, then please notify us, a beer garden zone leader, really anybody, to make sure that that stops happening. And if you also see a script that is not the correct color, do not accept that script and notify a police officer or one of us as soon as you can. Like I said, they will not be green at the event, and you will know the correct color to accept. It will be written on your job description when you receive it day of.
If you are a first shift volunteer, you'll check in at 4 o'clock at the upper lot. That's the Herald Building parking lot next to Depot Market Square. If you've volunteered for April Brews Day in the past, you remember that most of the time we have volunteers go to the Goat on Railroad Avenue. Things have changed this year. Please do find your way up to the parking lot next to the Herald Building. You'll be given a color. You'll be assigned a color, and your job, once you receive that color, is to find the person wearing that entire color, like entire outfit in that one color. That will be your color guard point of contact, and that color guard person is going to give you a setup job, and you will have until 5:05 to complete that setup job and then return to volunteer check-in to receive whatever equipment or supplies that you need for your Brews Day in-event job. From that time until 7:30 and 7:30 or 8, you'll be serving your April Brews Day in event position, and then you'll be free to enjoy the rest of the event.
If you're a second shift volunteer, you can check in as early as 6:30 p.m. through the volunteer entrance that's on Maple Street through the side door of the Depot Market Square, and you can enjoy the event for an hour, tasting beers, walking around, having some food, and then you must return to volunteer headquarters at 7:30 to check in for your volunteer position. After your position is over, which is around 10 p.m. or as early as your brewery that you're assigned to runs out of beer, and you can begin your cleanup task, which is located at the bottom of your little volunteer description that you'll get. If you have to wait for that task to start, just feel free to kind of wander around and start picking things up. Please do not leave until you've been given the all clear, because then that means that possibly the three of us will be cleaning up the entire event alone. Please don't do that. Cleanup may be chaotic and sometimes you won't have a task to do, but just wait around. There always is something that comes up that we need help with. And then once you get the all clear, then you can receive an April Brews Day growler filled with beer. And so that's a little incentive for sticking around until the very end. Thank you so much in advance.
If you need to cancel your volunteer shift, we totally understand that things come up and sometimes you just can't do it. But please email or call me to let me know, just so we are prepared and can fill your position if necessary. We really appreciate as much as advance notice as possible. I know with 350 people you think like, oh, one less person, not a big deal. It's a big deal, and we need to find somebody to fill your spot. So thank you for as much advance notice as possible. We just want to say thank you for volunteering again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Your support means the world to us. This fundraiser keeps Max Higby Center open. So thank you for supporting April Brews Day and Max Higby Center.
Mm-hmm. Go beer.
Oh no! Why did we do that?
I needed to end it. We could do the three-way high five again.
Fail.